figure dump in Okari community, Okrika local. There are conflicting reports on the number of casualties from an explosion at an illegal fuel dump in Okari Jetty, Okrika local government area of Rivers State. And 2 persons died in the explosion that occurred on the 31st of July, while the eyewitness tells our correspondent that aquatic life was affected as many fishes died and community members gathered the dead fishes for consumption.
Because of the treasure. The man that got to the fishing area, he on his light and fire touched one of them. They run, they leap with all the boat and everything burn, and the river had fire. Water was boiling with fire. So the following one, even I said by back fish, by cash fish up 20 or 30,000. People catch up to 50, 60, 100,000. They try it. So the whole river was spawned with fish.
But the local government area, Akuro Tobis, in an interview with the newspaper, said 4 persons died. He said the incident happened when the victims tried to steal petroleum products. While the River State Police Command is yet to confirm the number of casualties in the explosion. Relevant government agencies to quickly investigate the cause of the explosion. He spoke to correspondent Suli Oruwari.
But we are more concerned with the people, the incident that has happened, the spillage of PMS into the environment. It has damaged the aquatic system, it has affected the fishes in the river, it has affected the sources of livelihoods of the fishermen and the farmers within the area. It is important for the authority, the NPC, the refinery to come forward and speak about what has happened so that they can carry out environmental cleanup within the area and be able to determine what has caused the incident and then forestall its future occurrences.
Mr. Fineface, who is also the Executive Director of Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, advised federal government agencies like the police, NSTDC and NMPCL to address the situation to prevent a recurrence.
That there was a fire incident and explosion in the Okari Jetty area. According to our sources within the community, we are told the explosion happened when PMS was being evacuated and transported from a ship in the ocean into the NMPC pipeline to the depot in the NMPC, talking about the Port Harcourt refinery. We are told the process of the oil PMS moved, that the hose that was used to connect from the ocean's vessel into the pipeline was what blew out.
Mr. Fineface also appealed to the National Assembly to urgently investigate the continued silence of Nosdra on the 2-month-old oil spill at Eteo in Eleme local government area of Rivers State.
It's now over 2 months since the spill occurred. Joint investigation visit has not been carried out by Nosra in Eteo community. And despite the fact that the GIV has not been carried out, we are getting reports that NNPC, that is responsible for the pipeline that spill crude into that environment, has nicodemously and secretly entered into the community and cleared the spill point. What NNPC needs to do is to engage the community people, discuss and be able to determine the cause of the spill as joint investigation visit is carried out so that they can know what caused the spill and try to forestall future occurrences and then the environmental cleanup carried out.
Moving on, the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on the East-West Road and Eleme-Ogoni Corridor says it is disappointing that despite the huge resources from the Niger Delta, the East-West Road is still in a deplorable state. It comes after members of the Ad Hoc Committee inspected the stretch of the East-West Road from Delta State to River State yesterday. After the tour of the River State axis of the East-West Road, the Senate Ad Hoc Committee, led by its chairman, Senator Abdul Ningi, paid a courtesy call on Governor Siminalayi Fubara, where Senator Ningi said their discovery is disturbing.
We are also mindful of the fact that 80% of the resources of this country comes from this area, and we are dismayed. It's lamentable that in the last 3 to 4 decades, this community has seen adequate representation in terms of infrastructure development. And because of our concern, we sought an East-West Road would have been a legacy project for past successive governments, whereby if Nigerians come to Niger Delta, we will find out one of the legacy projects of successive governments.
Well, our correspondent reports that Senator Ningi said that after the inspection of the East-West Road, there will be a public hearing to establish how much has been released and spent so far on that road.
NNPC, the Ministry of Finance will all sit down and get people to bring in at least to establish how much have been spent over time on the road. How much for what job? Who has done what and why?
Now, on his part, Senator Adams Oshomole blamed the delayed completion of the East-West Road on the poor budgetary process.
It's a shame that a road that is so critical and central to the economy of the country that is left in such a bad state over a long period of time. What do we need now to get this road fixed? National Assembly has to change its budgetary system. There is no need to award new roads.
Nothing happens. In fact, I pass that road like this. For about 2 months, we can access my place. We have to pass through Oyibo. It's as bad as that. I don't know what can be.
Well, our correspondent reports that the committee members include Senator Barry Mpidi and former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole. The committee earlier visited Delta State and will visit Akwa Ibom State soon. Well, as you may know, the East-West Road is one of the strategic and critical road infrastructures which cuts across the south-south geopolitical zone of the country. In another development, an activist, Timi Frank, asked the Senate President Godswill Akpabio to resign immediately over his statement that money had been sent to all senators by the National Assembly to enjoy their annual vacation. Mr. Frank, in an interview, described Senator Akpabio's announcement as a mockery of democracy and Nigerians. But as you may know, Senator Akpabio made the statement before a motion of adjournment was to realizing he was still on live television.
The President has sent prayers to your mailboxes. I send prayers to your mailboxes to assist you to go on a safe journey and return.
President Bola Tinubu this afternoon met with former governors of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, at the presidential villa in Abuja. The two former governors are ministerial nominees. However, while former Governor Wike was screened and confirmed by the Senate, the upper legislative chamber is yet to confirm Mr. El-Rufai because of an alleged security report. Away from that, the Nigerian Army 6th Division Port Harcourt has been accused of encroaching into a land allegedly belonging to the family of late Akpan Ekiko at Iba Azumini at Omoke, Iguruta, in Ikwere local government area of River State. The spokesman of the family, Shadrach Godwin, alleged that men of the Nigerian Army 6th Division invaded the said parcel of land, which is in court, and destroyed all the crops planted there. Mr. Godwin, however, called on the Chief of Army Staff to intervene.
All the crop that the family have been feeding with, everything, if you come to this, you beat the family. You abandon the army, doesn't mean you can't take our land anymore. The land have been purchased since 1984, and we have been in possession. The nation have been destroyed. All the crops, the land have been destroyed. The first we erected, the Nigerians have cut everything. We learned that due to the fact that some service streets were changed, that the new GOC is not aware of the matter. We call on the federal government, we call on the state government, we want to call on the Chief of Army Staff, and also the GOC division to intervene into this matter and ask the army to desist from their action.
When contacted, spokesman of the Nigerian Army 6th Division, Port Harcourt, Lieutenant Colonel Ikedichi Ina, promised to investigate. Still to come, suspended CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele moves to stop DSS from further prosecution. Stay tuned. staying with us. And now to the rest of the news. The suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has asked a federal high court in Lagos to stop the federal government from further prosecuting him on the charge of illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition, or any other charge for that matter. Mr. Emefiele, through his lawyers, led by Joseph Dawudu, filed the application before Vacation Judge Justice Nicholas Oweibo, who had admitted him to bail after his arraignment. Financial advisor Eseone Iwamo says excessive cash circulation in any economy limits customers' access to loans from commercial banks. Mr. Iwamo, a banker in real estate, tells our correspondent that the CBN's hike of the monetary policy rates, which led to some banks increasing their interest rates on savings, allowed customers to deposit more money in their accounts to ease inflation.
When there is too much money in circulation and governments trying to take back money, it means that they will not give you loans because there's an increase of opportunity cost for the bank. The bank feel that if they take the money to CBN, those zero rates need to CBN. They're giving it to you come to rates of force. You might pay or not pay. As far as they are raising the rate, it means that they want to mop up money from the system. But deposit rate will affect loan rate.
Well, as you may know, some commercial banks are increasing rates on savings deposit accounts after then raised the minimum 18.50% in order to reduce inflation. Tricycle operators, also known as keke drivers, in the Rumekinialu area of Port Harcourt, say they are aggrieved over a rise in operational ticket prices from 500 naira to 700 naira. Some members of the Community Tricycle Riders Association, who visited the Nigeria Info FM complex today, criticized the leadership for raising ticket costs without considering the current economic challenges. They also raised concerns about alleged frequent extortion by policemen from the Choba division.
They are increasing the tickets every day. We, the keke operators, we are no more comfortable on the which they are giving to us, plus other additional payment. So if we are like calculating all the money we are paying each day, we are paying up to 400 to 500 naira for police. So it's a very big threat to us in that we need government of Rivers State to do something so that this thing will not escalate between keke people and police.
Person will come out road in the morning, buy fuel, upon how the fuel they cost now. For how long you go, as you just they come out for early morning, maybe go hold you, tell you say no buy tickets. Now that ticket when they set in the increase and police they know, you must give them 100 naira.
The thing is bothering us. The police in Choba leaves their area and they coming to Rumekini and Alu area to be relaying us.
Well, the chairman of the Rumekini Tricycle Operators Association, JC Amadi, denied the claims of the tricycle operators.
We did not increase any tickets. There's nothing like that. Forging what is not true. Our ticket fee remains the normal price. Our ticket fee is 500 naira. The churn is through the police station. Through the police station, there's no money to take care of that junction.
In business, chairman of Petrol Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, in River State, Francis Dimpa, says members of the organization are facing some hurdles in getting licenses for the operation of compressed natural gas, CNG. It's come after President says he will create in the first phase of his administration. Mr. Dimpa spoke to our correspondent on this.
Working on synergy with the NBRA to secure, because ordinarily we believe that if you have LPG license, you should be allowed to operate CNG if you have the space. But we need to understand that you secure another license for CNG retailing. So we're going to NBRA to secure the necessary licenses. It's not as easy as the ease of doing business. The bureaucracy in securing these things are not as easy as it's supposed to be. That is a challenge.
Well, Mr. Jimpa, while speaking on the requirements before license can be issued, said some of his members have applied but are waiting for Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NUPRA. In entertainment, fast-rising street pop sensation Shali Poppy says he finished his EP in just 2 hours. In an interview, Shali Poppy said he does not write any of his songs and his entire debut project was a freestyle. And in sports, Reece James has been announced as Chelsea Football Club's new captain.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
The military junta in Niger has accused France, the former colonial power, of trying to destabilize the country. It said a French aircraft had breached the country's airspace, which the junta had closed. It also said French soldiers had freed captured jihadists in order to attack military positions. The French government has rejected the accusations. When Niger's elected president Mohamed Bazoum was ousted last month, and the coup leaders have since resisted diplomatic attempts to resolve the crisis. The regional bloc ECOWAS, which threatened military intervention, will meet tomorrow to consider its next move. And that's it on the news this evening. But before we go, on the news this evening, you heard that there are conflicting reports on the number of casualties following an explosion at an illegal oil dump in Okari community, Okrika local government area of Rivers State. The Senate ad hoc committee has inspected the East-West Road and has queried the expenditure on the project. Governor Siminalayo Fubara has asked the Senate Committee on East-West Road to go beyond public hearing and fix the road. President Bola Tinubu has met with former governors Nyesom Wike and El Rufai in Aso Rock. The suspended CBN governor Godwin Emefiele has moved to stop the DSS from further prosecuting him. On the foreign scene, Niger has accused France of destabilizing the country. The news was edited by Michael Kerenkem. Light drizzle in Port Harcourt this evening. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.